All right, so the live questions channel is now open just above the voice channel, so you people will be able to see that there. Let's get started. It's just gone midnight in Sydney, so we are going to have an absolutely huge week here. This is our third week doing weekly AMAs. Welcome to stage, Yawn. Welcome to stage, Jerry. Yawn, how has your week been?
Cool, busy, and I actually and Jerry didn't sleep for much. I worked through last morning from like 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. So it's a rough day for me.
And Jerry, welcome back. How's your week been?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I was still, doing the running test. Actually, it was last night 2 a.m. So yeah, you all know it. Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm still, excited. Good.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I mean, we've got 2 days before launch of the live beta test. You guys must be pretty nervous coming ahead of that.
We actually test. I mean, we have gone through the closed beta, and that was a nervous time because we have so many bugs. Was actually another funny story we can share later. But I think we have pretty much fixed all the bugs, and we have tested the app until now, so we're pretty confident actually for the release.
Yeah, I never count, but this one should be my 11th game launching. So yeah, it should be okay.
Yeah, we've got to talk about that more later.
Sure.
We do have to talk about that a bit more later, I think, Jerry, because you come from a developing background and you've got many things developing outside of just STEPN. So there's definitely more. So 11th game made. Where were the rest of the games launched? Were they mobile games?
We start from the browser games, which was back to more than 10 years ago. That was 2008. Then we started to do the mobile game in 2012. Then most of them are not successful, but some of them are okay. And one of them won the top one in App Store, Google Store in some Asian countries. But that was a long story, many years ago. Yeah.
So we've got a whole heap of stuff happening this week. I've noticed the beta app has stopped working for me, so I haven't been able to walk or run for the last couple of days without. It's funny how you use that. You love having the device there and the app there, but we are. Would we be 36 hours away from launch thereabouts?
Yes. We're planning to launch on the 20th December. Could be the afternoon Los Angeles time. Still not confirmed, but yeah, we'll work out soon.
So just talking about the launch and that, when can we actually download the apps? Can we download the apps earlier than the game is actually ready to go, or is it all getting dropped on the 20th?
Should be ready on or before the 20th. We actually have prepared a version ready to go now, and we are trying to make a new version on or before 20th. If everything's ready, we'll release the new version, which will be better. But definitely 20th everything will be ready.
Yeah, we've got some special footage from the team as well. So Yawn and Jerry have got something to share for us regarding the new footage. They've done a little bit of a teaser to show the crowd the new app. So it's like the old one but different. So I've managed to see it this afternoon myself. Do you guys want to link that in the live questions channel for now, where people can have a look?
Sure. Yeah, I can do it.
So what people need to remember is coming into the open beta is that it's almost two versions of upgrades. So they've changed things around, and if you have a look now, you'll see the minting has been added in. So the SME, you call that, that's the minting events, the shoe minting events, and the gems have changed a little bit as well. I love the graphics on the gems. I think they are pretty cool. So Jerry's just linked it in now. That's a couple of minutes. I didn't hear you panting in the background there, Jorn. You weren't running too fast.
I was just walking. Jerry called me. That was actually 12 something clock last night. He's like, "You're gonna do this little footage." I was like, "All right, I'll just go out for a walk," and then I walk for like 20 meters and come back.
Yeah, I do love hearing it. I saw the video recorder in the background. So have a look at that for everyone in the crowd here. We've got almost 100 people at this stage, people coming and going. It is a little bit different, so if you're used to it, and there's so much to talk about on the app, did you guys want to take it, or do you want to field a couple of questions first, or do you want to talk about this new app?
So I think we'll just give a rundown for people just recently joined us and don't have the time to actually to went through the white paper. So basically, STEPN is a mobile app, and it is the first move to earn NFT mobile game, basically. So this NFT sneaker is the key asset, but it will also have the gems, which is a form of adding attribute to the NFT sneakers. And the people basically just need to move by walking, jogging, or running outdoors to earn tokens, which in turn they will spend or burn the token they earn, or they can swap it into stablecoin and transfer out. It's up to them. And once they hit the max level, they can earn governance token, which will decide how the game type rate distributes perfect. And for some of the question people ask about the invite links, also the reward, I'll just give a brief rundown of what's happening. So because the Discord server only allowed 1,000 invite links, so once it hit the cap, we cannot delete, because again, if I delete, then other people can't do the invite. So we have to do this. We actually developed a bot to do the rotations. We do rotation delete of the duplicated link every 3 minutes, so we can free up some space for people to do the invitations. And then we're gonna actually change the way that we do invite very soon in the Discord. And Jerry and I will make an announcement later. And for people that didn't receive the NFT reward, we have recorded everyone that submit their demo forms, and we will go through a manual check on all the invites to make sure that all the invites are legit, and then we'll send out all the stickers. So if you didn't receive your sticker, be patient. We'll get it out before the game release.
So that's a super important point. What about people that might have been removed from the server? Because obviously we've removed people for spamming the server for the invite channel. How do they get into contact with the team to be able to get that situation solved?
Yes, so all this situation will be solved on ad hoc situation. So we have to go through of exactly what happened. Well, is the removal reasonable, or is a mistake, or it can be sort of negotiated or sort of discussed. And then, so everybody in the team is a reasonable person, and we do this by having the group discussion and say, should this person come back, and should this person be reinstated of their roles? And we do that for every single player that come to us, ask us what's going on, where's my NFT reward. So we do that. But because we have so many people ask us, there's still a backlog of we can back to them. So if people been removed, they contact us. We actually have the record. We will decide on what we're gonna do with the reward and what we're gonna do with the roles, and then we'll tell them basically. So some has been reinstated of the roles and the reward, and some of them basically just done too much fallacies or the profanities provoking other players. So then we say, okay, you can't have that reward. You have been removed the server for a good reason.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the terms and conditions of the Discord are clearly laid out. If you're going to be, talking down to other players and that, then that's just not going to be accepted. Last week we had some special events happen in Adelaide, Jorn. How did they go? What was the end result for the marathon and the mountain climbing?
It's pretty good, actually. The marathon, because it's pretty hardcore, it's like 6 hours of non-stop running. So it's about 40 people showed up, and they had to run from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. in the midnight. So we stayed for about 2.5 hours. It's just non-stop running. So yeah, it's great. We talk to people, get them to know the app, talked to the organizer. So we did a collab on a charity event for women under domestic violence. So we raised some funds for them. And the other one is a big one, which about 350 people showed up, which is a simple one, basically. It's running from downhill to uphill. And that one is pretty good. And although the weather pretty hot, but yeah, it's good turnout.
I think you've talked about being able to try and track a latitude gain, so climbing a mountain, climbing steps. That's something that you guys are going to try and add in at some stage, yeah?
It is actually quite interesting because we are recently being approached by several sneaker brands, and one of them is a hiking shoes company, and we actually discussed if they recommend us if we can put a hiking sneaker, and then just exclusively for measuring the elevations of traveling. Say this is basically from downhill to uphill. But we're gonna put that into the backlog, and we're gonna focus on the game release now. And once we have released the game and do several patch updates to deliver what we promised, then we're gonna come back and see if it can possible to have a new sort of type of sneaker introduced.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to get that MVP out, don't you? You've got to get that operational before we can even worry about it. Because you could do tennis, you could do squash, you could do golf. There's so many different sports, even cycling.
Yep.
Everyone's going to like extra sports, and people talk about that and want the extra sports. But for now, it's getting the core benefits, which is walking, jogging, and running.
Yes.
So I did notice there was a little bit of merch in those photos. They had some special STEPN merchandise.
Yes. Yeah, we actually giving that away. So currently, because people still need to carry their mobile to earn tokens, so we have some fanny bags and also the stripes for the mobile on the arm. We'll give it that way so that people can actually move to earn. Otherwise, they have to carry the phone on their head.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, people have talked about it. We've asked a couple of times. We've spoken on different AMAs about, obviously, it'd be cool to have a watch or a smart device or a Fitbit or something like that link up. And eventually the team will add that in. But it's about getting MVP. You're going to hear that very often, minimal viable product. And that's about making sure they've got a game that comes out and works. And as it comes out, they will do it. So there is another link from Jerry there. There's a lot of extra information in this new little snippet you've got. It does a breeding picture and talks about the sneakers, and we haven't really gone deep into the breeding of the sneakers. There's a lot of information in the white paper. So for people that haven't seen the white paper, I'll do a link now.
Yes, as like Axie Infinity, people can use the sneakers in our game to. Actually, we call it shoe maintain, not breeding, but it's sort of breeding. You can use two sneakers to make a new sneaker, and then you will have three. Then you can sell the new one in the marketplace. So which is pretty cool.
So it's important to think with the sneakers though at the start. So we've got two commonalities of the sneaker boxes are coming out. They're common. That's the black ones, and then uncommon with the green sneaker boxes. So do you guys want to talk a little bit about the breakdowns of how they work out? We haven't explained that properly to the crowd.
Okay, so it's basically a mystery box. And with mystery box, we'll have the possibility. So you have the gray one, you have a high chance to receive a gray sneaker. But when it going to the green, which is uncommon quality, you will have the possibility to go either ways. The gray or the green. And when you're going to the rare, which is the blue, you can actually go higher. And that will actually introduce some thrill into the game. Basically, people have, if they get a higher quality one, they have the adrenaline sort of a kick. So this is how we design it. It's basically just like the mystery box. So we want people to have some fun, open it, and also people can speculate on the sneaker full box. So they can sell it on the open market and let the other players open it to try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still crypto. It's still blockchain gaming. The speculation will definitely be there. I've speculated this week. I bought extra shoe boxes. So the three qualities that we can get out of these shoe boxes at the start are common, uncommon, and rare. How do the extra two qualities come in, the epic and the legendary? How does the team release those?
So it will be a incremental progress. So we will not release the epic and legendary. So it will done by the players. So how they do it is, let's say all the uncommon sneaker have 10% to receive like to get a rare quality. So that means for 100 pair of sneakers open on the shoebox, we should have around 10 on the rare quality, and then this 10 rare will be able to make all of these 100. So the 10 rare maybe will make 100 rare, and then 100 rare will have 10% going to the epic. So that's how the game progress. We cannot just release 5 different type of sneakers. That will sort of break the game economy. So we want the people to incrementally get higher level and improve on their earnings and to have fun with the shoe meetings, because not only the quality of sneakers matters, we also have the quality of the NFT, the sockets on the sneaker.
Yep.
And that will also have 5 different qualities. You can have a, say, legendary sneaker, but you will be much better. You will have the legendary sneaker with a legendary socket, which will actually boost your gems attribute.
Yeah, I've seen that. The legendary gives you plus 90%.
Yeah, it's a huge boost.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's almost double. That's huge. So anyone that's seen the game, I only managed to get one set of sneakers up, so I didn't get to see the gems go too far. But you were getting plus 3 gems. That gives you another plus 3 gems, and from having above 20% statistics, 20 on your statistics, then they get very extra. So it'll be cool to see more. So
yeah, I mean, if people get everything like top notch in the really beginning of the game, they actually just lost sort of the interest in the game, and also they say, I've seen all of it, and they stop using it. And really, the purpose of this app is to have people to exercise regularly. There's no point of us. So it's not. We have like games, like especially NFT games. They have this. If you come the first, you have this best of the best equipment that nobody can get later in the game, and then I think that's sort of actually make the game less fun, because you have everything in the beginning. Especially this is a move to earn, so we still want to incentivize people to move and along the journey of your exercise, you get let's say top-notch sneakers, and you can earn money. So I think that journey matters.
Yeah, I like it. So you said something there earlier that once we level our sneakers up and we get let's say we were lucky enough to get an uncommon pair of sneakers out of one of our shoe boxes, and we level those up to level 28. To be able to level them up to level 30, so the last 2 levels, you've also got to use the governance coin, GMT. Is that right?
That's correct.
And how do people acquire GMT if they're not earning it?
Okay, so the GMT will be circulated through several ways. One is we're going to do a public sale. So we are targeting at around February next year. And then we'll have a small portion in circulation. And once we did the public sale, we will do the listing in the exchanges. And people will be, again, once they hit the level 30, we are aiming roughly 6 months down the track after we release the game, we'll enable the governance token earnings. So basically, people just need to buy some off the exchange. They can actually swap their GST for GMT if they don't want to spend money, and you just prolong their grind. But again, they have that part of the access to the GMT.
Yeah, and once you hit level 30, of course, you're earning GMT, so you can then either sell that back or keep it for later.
Yeah, because we create this ecosystem, so the GST will be a sort of infinite supply, infinite burn token. So, but the GMT will actually design in a way to be a deflationary token, because you have several occasions that people have to burn it in order to progress in the game. For example, level up their gems, level up their sneakers, participate in the governance. So yeah, so over the time, we picture that the GMT supply will start to at least to break even with the release of the token, and then gradually going down on their supplies, and hence increase the values basically.
Yeah, I think it's important we do extra videos later about the GMT and the coins specifically. But when we get the game on Monday, so the game's going to be coming out, the open beta, it's going to be, are the numbers going to be different, the earnings, and how are they going to differ from the original beta that we've been testing? So we used to get around 4 to 5 GST if we had a set of trainers, but how do they differ coming the update?
We actually made some changes to make it more sort of reasonable to play. So we changed a bit on the repair cost, and we actually didn't touch on how much we earn the daily cap. We didn't touch it, and we may tweak things a little bit with how much token you need to burn to level up. And it will be actually an ongoing progress. We'll still keep monitoring on people's gameplay and see will this the earning be good enough or not enough, and then we make some patch updates to make the game basically better to play. The player will have a better user experience.
Yeah, you did say that last week, that numbers may be changed and updated as we go through the play testing, and we need to make sure that we keep a balanced economy in the whole thing. We need it to be, it needs to last. It can't just, things need to be tested still. And that's why that's why we're in beta. So does that mean the repairs were roughly at around 1/4? How are we looking?
It's dropped. It's dropped. We actually reduced the repair to, was that 20%, something like that, Barry?
You can't tell. You can try when it's alive.
Right. Yeah. Gary designed the number, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's reduced by a little bit, which is good. But then you said that you might have adjusted the numbers to, have you increased the numbers to level up the boots?
You will know in 3 days.
They're keeping secrets. I like it. All right. So other things we could talk about. The gems are the same. There was background mode. Have we touched on background mode? That's in the white paper. Is that going to be active in the beta?
No, not yet.
Not ready. Yeah, but we'll be ready soon. Roughly could be, let's say, another 2 weeks. Yeah.
So for people that haven't heard about background mode, you can actually see I've got videos up. I'll try and get a link for you quickly. But background mode is a way that you can earn passive from the game, and it counts up to 3,000 steps a day, which then doesn't use durability off of your NFTs. And it's a really cool option. I actually had to reread the paperwork to see it because I never noticed it the first time. So, around February, is that right?
Yeah, around February. So you're not a good reader. Yeah, we announced it a very long time ago. Actually, we have a background mode and the marathon mode and lots of different ways you can play the game.
We'll keep adding new modes down the track. So we'll start with 3, and then we'll keep adding the one that we see appropriate to the game.
Yeah. Now, with the minting of the sneakers, the first lot of 10,000 sneakers are called the vintage sneakers, and you need to mint 2 vintage sneakers, and that will then make another sneaker. What's going to be the name of the new sneaker, and are they going to be able to be minted?
Okay, so I think there's a bit of a misconception. So the vintage stands for the parent. So we cannot call it parent sneaker. That sounds stupid. Or children's sneakers. So it's just wording, right? You have the vintage sneaker. Basically, it's the parents, and then you have the baby sneaker. Basically, it's a new sneaker you have. But we just can't call that way. So we rephrase it, we rename it into the vintage sneaker. So any sneaker that going to the production sort of a process or the minting process, the 2 parent will be called the vintage.
So that means then if the parent sneakers they mint out the generation 0 or generation 1s or the children, does that mean the children can then mint 7 sets of sneakers as well?
Yes. So the children will have to pair with another one, and then they can keep minting, but there will be a cooldown in between.
Cooldown and incremental costs to be able to mint, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so just for people listening, as you mint, the more expensive, the more your sneakers you mint, everyone can be done 7 times only, and each time becomes a little bit more expensive. And we haven't seen yet for the epics and legendaries, but they may cost GMT down the track to mint.
Yeah. So GMT will be tradable around February, so we have around 2 months away. So yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of the questions that I had written down for the week. Obviously, there's so much more we can talk about, but let me go through a few of the questions. What haven't we touched on, Jorn? What do you want to talk about tonight?
I think for the new people that didn't hear, we're actually giving away 3 sneakers and to the audience. So stay tuned. Yeah,
250 people almost. Wow, it's huge. It's a game that I've been playing from the very beginning, and very interesting. Here is a good question here from Nalini. Can we see any collaborations in the future or in present? So you did mention, Jerry, you touched on a couple of sneaker brands that have had a chat.
Yes. Some big brand.
Have we got anything we can talk about on stage that can be released, or it's all unreleased at the moment?
We actually to do things before we release it, and so we don't give empty promises. So we will release it once we have the solid partnership, all written down, memo has been done. Yeah. Then we'll release it. But it is actually the top 5 sneaker brand that's been contacting us at the moment.
Yeah, top three, definitely.
Okay, top 3. Well,
actually, you can say top 2. But
okay, no, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
All right.
Yeah, so we will release some news down the track once we have some security the partnership.
There is a question here. Does app collect any data or any sensors, so in the manner it can be used to essentially how much distance we have gone? Ayush 2107. So the app does actually track the distances. It all runs off GPS, and that's how we get the trackings and the speeds. I think you may mean data or sensors as, is it a normal fitness app? No. We did touch on this last week. So it's if you want to use a fitness app to see your heartbeats, your speeds, your calories burnt, you can use other apps whilst using STEPN.
Yes. So we actually optimize a lot of things that the fitness app company that didn't bother to do, because the move to earn nature, we have to actually accurately measure how far distance the player has moved, and also to disable the scenario where people actually didn't move, for example, riding a bike or the GPS drifting indoors. So we have to do a lot of optimizations just for the move to earn component.
There is a good question here about sneakers. Are they Mikal? Are the sneakers tradable in secondary market after the game launch? So at the moment we've got Magic Eden. Has Magic Eden got a system set up so as soon as we open them on the Monday, and to be able to sell the new sneakers?
Well, it's already tradable at the moment, and in our first patch update, which we'll release that along with our investors detail in the middle of January. We're aiming to release the marketplace where people will be able to trade in the app.
In the app, yeah.
So we have the built-in wallet, we have the built-in marketplace. Everything will be built into the game.
The app. I guess it's worth clarifying then for this question as well is, so come the 20th, for everybody that's listening now at the moment, I'll let you talk about it, Jorn, but we've got 2 days to actually open up our sneaker box. Do you want to talk on that a little bit? Because it's super important.
Yes. So people that bought the shoebox have to transfer their shoebox into the game before the 22nd of December, and then they'll open the shoebox and they'll receive their pair of sneakers. If you don't do it before the 22nd, their shoebox will be expired, and they can't get the sneaker out of the shoebox. So it is very important. Once the game is open, they should transfer the sneaker to the game immediately. Yeah, and especially with people selling that on the Magic Eden, I would recommend them to transfer it, open it, and if you still want to sell it, put it back to the Magic Eden.
Okay, so does that mean it's going to come up in the same tab where the shoeboxes are at the moment once they're opened?
It will be two tabs. It will be a sneaker tab. It will be another tab, and the shoebox will be in the other tab. And then you click that. You have all the details. You click open, and then you open that shoebox, and then the shoe will get into the inventory, which is the sneaker category.
So super important, people. We've got 2 days to open up our sneaker boxes. If we don't, then they'll be invalid, and you won't be able to get those sneakers out of them. Super important. There was a question asked about new app available for iPhone users. I can't pronounce, or Jabe, I can't pronounce the characters, but yes, the developers, Jorn, Jerry, they'll list us when the new apps are available for download, both Apple and Android.
That's right.
Yeah. For the Android one, you can download. You can search in Google Store and download straight away. But for the iOS, you have to download through the test flight. So that's pretty common in this industry.
Do have a good question here about can we rent sneakers to friends in games? So I did actually link the videos just below that question. But at the moment, the rental system is I didn't fully understand it before last week, and this week it's super impressive. But if you've got friends or family that you want to rent sneakers to, can you bypass the standard rental system?
Yes. So the standard rental system is actually for people never met to each other. So they have to have this credit system we use to stop people exploiting that system. But for people that know each other offline, because we have this vote and wallet. So if you go check the video, you will see there's a vote. The vote will be a centralized wallet, and the vote asset can only transfer to the wallet. And in the wallet, you'll be able to transfer the asset to any address you want. So for people that wanting to do this like a mini guild of their own, then they can actually hand out the mobile to their friend or families. They can move to earn on their behalf and then transfer the single way of the asset to the wallet, the player in control. Because it's single way. You can only transfer from the vault to the wallet. And in that way, you can actually manage the earning they have earned, basically.
I noticed there's a company coming out built Parsec that is quite big in a few of the NFT projects about sharing and renting the NFTs. Are you guys using Parsec for yours?
I think that's a question for Jerry.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Oh.
So Jerry, just to do with this, there's been a couple of games coming out that I have noticed that are using Parsec. Their protocol coming to Solana. That's allowing renting out NFT sneakers. Is that what you're using in STEPN?
Yes. We are still discussing how can we integrate the Great protocol to our community. We will work out after the launch. We probably will release a new leaderboard for the collaboration in the end of this month. So yeah,
we're talking about the rental system.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do have a question here, a good one which we just touched on, Paras. So if we don't own any NFT, so we won't be able to play the game. So the question is basically, Paras, if you don't own an NFT, then you're going to need to rent that NFT, and it's actually free. Yes. It's free to rent the NFTs. That's super important to understand as well. So you sign a 7-day contract. Do you want to talk about the contract a little bit, Jon?
Yes.
Yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay. Sure. So we have built a credit system. So everybody start with 2 point of credit, 2 stars basically. So people will sort of pound their credit, and then they go into the smart contract into renting a sneaker with the sneaker owner, an agreement basically. So and the player have to run within 24 hours after the rental is agreed or the agreement has been completed. If they didn't do it, the smart contract will take their sneaker, return to the sneaker owner, and deduct the 1 credit. And they can do this twice. So you can sort of exploit the system twice. But then you get very difficult for other players to lease it to you because you have a low credit. And once you run out of the credit, you cannot run anymore. Then if you still want to participate in the game, you have to buy a pair of sneakers itself. So the rental will only be the rental system are built for people want to comply the agreement. Once they agree, we would like to see them they actually fulfill that agreement. Basically, that's a win-win situation.
Yes. So to elaborate on that a little bit more, the rental agreement, when you sign it to rent a pair of sneakers, it actually doesn't cost you any GST. It's free. What you're actually signing the agreement for is how much energy you're going to use per day. The owners of the sneakers are going to say they want you to use a certain amount, and you either agree to that or you rent a different pair of sneakers. You earn 70% of the GST, and the owners of the sneakers earn 30%. So it is a completely free-to-play game.
It's actually the runner earns 30%, the owner earns 70% because owner bear the risk of carrying that energy.
Other way. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't read it like that. I apologize. So 30% to the runner, the renter.
Yes.
Yes. To the renter. So we encourage people to buy and own sneakers first, then rent the sneakers to the runner community. So that's the plan.
That's interesting to hear it live on stage. And I guess the reality is you've paid nothing to get those sneakers to borrow and use, and it's still doing stuff that you would do every day, which is walking and running. So it's not costing you anything to do that, which is interesting. Yeah, that's good. So the people that own these sneakers, they're going to be able to earn from renting them quite well. So it's another highlight point on the value of these sneakers. Future airdrops for sneaker holders. So for the vintage season 1 runners, is there going to be a potential chance down the track that you guys might do special airdrops?
We're already doing that. So the airdrop will continue for about
I know.
5 days. So we do
I think for
airdrops.
people that already own, that already have a pair of a sneaker box.
Oh, okay. We actually want to do this more in a fair way. So people that have already won the sneaker, they will not be able to participate for the future airdrops, but we will run other form of airdrops down the track. So I'll have to discuss with Jared. So we can do like JS airdrop, we can do Gem airdrop. So that's the future plans. But at the moment, each player can only win 1 pair of sneakers, and that's it. So and leave opportunity for other players.
We've got 256 people on stage at the moment. We've gone 40 minutes tonight. We can keep going for a long time. I guess one more question that just popped to my mind. What 2 modes are available when the beta comes out? We're going to have single player mode. Is the marathon mode going to be available in the next beta model?
The marathon model will be, I think, in the second patch update. So right after the marketplace, we'll work on the marathon mode, but we will introduce a basic leaderboard function.
Yep.
Around the end of this year. So I think we are the time set on the 28th of December.
Yeah, and that's going to be linking up with projects of Solana, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There was a question here regarding about people can cheat by traveling in vehicles. That's restricted by your speed limits.
Not anymore.
Yeah, anyone that's watched my videos and stuff, I took it for a truck drive 850 kilometers to test it, but it's all tracked via GPS. There was a lot of bugs early on, so there are speed limits required, and they've got very good models in for that.
I probably can do another video. So once you are in the car driving, you are enter this moonwalking state, which will not earn anything. And as a punishment, if people actually want to cheat by driving their car to, drive to earn, their sneaker durability actually reduced. So it
Yes.
actually costs you money to drive to.
Rapidly.
I did so many different things at the start, and I'm not going to lie about that because I wanted to test the actual app. So I took it on a plane. I also had it sitting in my room and went to bed one night. Yeah, I took it on a plane. So, for me, when I play test a game, as a gamer, you try and cheat the systems and you think, how can I do this better, and can I get free prizes, or all of those kinds of thoughts happen. And I thought, well, I'll just take it on the plane. It didn't like the plane at all.
Actually, it was a quite interesting story that in the early stage of developing this app, we're finding there's a lot of GPS drift, but the drift only about 100 meters or 30 meters at roughly that roughly how much drift. And then we see this one point that drift into the ocean, like in middle of the Indian Ocean. And what's going on there? I mean, this it's like hundreds of kilometers away from the coast. And we run a lot of tests. We trying to optimize the GPS, trying to debug this for several days, and then it turned out to be the guy actually a seller. He's using this to move around on the boat, or on the cargo ship.
Yeah.
And he's actually in the middle of the sea, and we're trying to fix the issues for 2 and 3 days, and it's driving us crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, it turned out not to be a bug. Yeah.
Went crazy,
I actually. It would be cool to see some of those, like do a little article or a meme for them, or show us some of those results. I think that'd be pretty cool. There is a good question here. Are we able to stake sneakers to earn GMT token in the future? Nishant, I think that might be your second question. But that's a good question. When your boots get to level 30, you actually start earning GMT.
So the thing is, people use the word stake in the sense of proof of stake. It's a way of doing consensus. And in the move to earn, I think the moving is actually consensus. They have to actually move to earn tokens. Consider this a money machine. So we don't want to encourage people getting the free stuff. They have to work for it.
Assume the way people can stake in our game is just rent a sneaker in the marketplace. So the runners can use your sneaker to run and earn token, and you can get some, share. So that's the way how people can stake their sneakers in our game.
I think we should probably close off the questions. Like, there's so many more. There is a good one. The finish on Stuart has asked, when can we transfer sneakers in the game? We have answered that tonight, but it is worth reiterating because we only have a 2-day period. Stuart, from the 20th to the 22nd, you've got 2 days to transfer your sneaker box into the game to open those up. Otherwise, that sneaker box will be no longer valid. So, Jorn, have you got any closing thoughts tonight?
I think it's been a great journey for us. So we actually worked really hard to deliver this. So we started this project in August, and now 4 months later, we are trying to get this out to the market. And there will be some issues down the track, because always be issues down the track. But we feel pretty confident that we can solve them on a timely basis, and keep introducing new use cases of the token, and keep introducing new mode and constantly engaging with our community. So that's what we want to build. And for people asking, I see there are a few questions asking how the game make profit. The game profit will be made through taxing on game transactions, on the minting, and on the rental. And the fund will go into a treasury where the government token holder will decide how the distribution of the game token profit. And basically, portion of them will go to carbon offsetting or other form of charity. And I think that's one of the main sort of goal, or like a driving force for us to start this project, is to reduce some carbon emissions, and basically just do our part to curb the global warming.
Yeah, and that's with your GMT and your governance, and you've got a good model in place there to make sure if people want to vote to take profit from the GMTs, and they're going to lose potential coins, which is really cool. You're making it so people that invest in our environment and doing those carbon offsets are going to be rewarded more.
Yes, and that I think that model will work really well, especially working with sneaker brands, because in a way we can actually offset the carbon the sneaker being produced.
I'd never thought of it like that. That is that is impressive. The first thing. Everyone, if people are given a choice to take profit or invest it in the community and environment, normally people take profit because that's the nature of it. But the model you've come up with is quite intelligent.
So I think that's the way, because I think for all the great crypto projects, they have to have some degree of social justice and social sort of good, or experiment even in some cases. And so if you want to make the game sort of for profit business, there are so many ways we can do this. But we didn't go down that path. I think in this way we actually can make the game last longer and reach more players and actually be more successful in the future.
Alrighty, Jerry, we've just hit 300. Have you got any closing thoughts?
I actually want to leave the time to pick more questions from our audience. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can keep going. We've got another. I can keep going through the questions. Christian Gaming has asked the question about going multi-chain. So are you going to collaborate and do things? Obviously, the wallet is being set up for February, but are you going to be collaborating with Binance, for example, and going onto their NFT market?
Actually, the wallet is already ready to use. So the multi-chain collaboration. Yeah, we're building we're building 3 or 4 different chains in our game, so people can use the cross-chain function directly to swap their coins to any coins. And more collaborations will be considered. Yeah, do you have anything to say?
Yes, for any collaborations or exchange listings or IEO or IDO, we will let the exchange make the announcement. And so for all the exchange related questions, we can answer.
That's right. That's good. It's people just want to know whether the team is thinking about it. I've seen a couple of times now people have asked the question, total token supply. Tokenomics, I don't think have been fully delivered, and that's going to be a January release, yeah?
We will do that alongside with the investors' detail announcement. And so there's a few big dates. So around mid of January, we'll do the investor detail announcement. And mid of February, we'll have some form of IEO, IDO information out. And that's pretty much conclude the Q1. And then Q2 will starting to move to the mainstream. Sort of non-crypto crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, keeping in mind the FOMO, the first online marathon offering, is going to be for GST, and that's going to have an unlimited cap. So the utility token isn't going to be capped. Obviously, there is a burn mechanism inbuilt to make sure it doesn't overinflate. But 10,000 mint for the sneakers for season 1.
Yep. So we actually designing now up to season 3 sneakers. So we'll release it by season, and so people will have new stuff.
And have you got a rough timeline on that, Jorn?
We're gonna see how fast people minting new sneakers and decide when we're gonna release the next season.
Minting.
Because we keep a certain number. Yeah.
So minting is available from level 1, isn't it? You can mint level 1s and 1s.
Gary, I think we changed it. We changed it to level 5 or 10, right?
Because level 10's to be able to you can rent the sneakers out at level 10.
Yeah. So level 5 you can start to mint new. Yeah, level 5 you can start to mint new sneakers. But to get from level 1 to 5 is pretty easy and pretty fast.
Yeah, you can do that within every day.
No, 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other marketplaces launched at the moment? We're on Magic Eden. Are you going to be putting them on Solana or Digital Eyes or anything like that? FTX maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're
very
gonna settle
likely.
with. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah.
I'd imagine
Once
FTX would
we-
be an important one because they're very good about donating and helping the environment and all those kinds of things as well.
Yeah. So both Binance and FTS are pretty big in the charity. So I think we targeting to that particular niche, it will work in our favor.
There is a question regarding will two players with a single sneaker be able to mint a new sneaker together? I think that was answered last week, but you need to have the two sneakers in the same wallet, don't you, Yorn?
Sorry?
So when you
Yes,
want...
you have to.
Yeah, Jerry's got it.
2 sneakers in the same account. Then actually in your vote, then you can mint a new one.
Is there a plan at all down the track that you're going to introduce something, so a smart contract, so people can pair up together, sign a contract, and then they can mint? Or is it always going to be two in the one wallet?
It's super easy. You can just mint a new sneaker in the app, so it's super easy. You don't have to read any contract code.
No, but that's if you own two. So say people can't afford to buy a second set, and they want to sign up with someone, a friend maybe. Is there a chance to do a contract for that, or is it always going to be two in the one wallet?
Two in one wallet at this stage. Yeah, you can't do that. So probably you can gift your sneaker to your friend, and then you can mint a new one. Then you can get your sneaker back if you want to do that.
That's right. Obviously, you've got to trust the people you give your NFTs to.
Yeah.
Is there a potential chance then that the team would consider doing an escrow option? I know it's a lot of work, and I don't want to just mention that in the blue, but is there a chance that you could do an escrow where a team member takes on those two pairs of sneakers, the funds required to mint, and does it for two parties?
Oh, that sounds difficult.
I've seen it in a couple of games so far where, for example, there's one game that you swap NFTs and the team takes a hold of both and does the swap for the players. So I guess I could see a possibility of it being a useful tool.
We'll write it down and we'll discuss that with Jerry.
Add that to the list.
Yeah.
Two more questions.
Sorry, we'll go with Urjas. What are the different rarity levels of sneakers? At the moment, there's 5 levels. We're only getting access to common, uncommon, and possibly rare. 10,000 sneakers opened at the start. So does that mean we've got 1,000 rares? Possibly? No, because what's the percentage drops for the common versus uncommon on the shoeboxes?
It's 15% for the common and 85% for the uncommon.
Probably the other way around. Is that you mean? 15% greens?
Yeah, 50% green.
Yeah,
85%
15% uncommon, 85% common.
So that means there's going to be 150 rare sneakers out of 10,000 as by the blockchain. One more question. Let's find one more question. So many questions.
So many questions.
All right, so there is a good question here, actually. I like this. Renting won't transfer your sneaker to the renter, right? They'll just be able to use the sneaker but not own it. That is actually a good question. So during the renting process, you sign a contract. That's a free contract. So does that mean you transfer the sneaker to that person or the sneakers stay in the owner's wallet?
Actually, the sneaker will appear in the runner's wallet, but actually it was controlled by the smart contract, so it doesn't belong to anyone. It still belongs to the owner.
That's actually a really good question. That was by, I think, maybe Axel Blaze, then Grim. Yeah, well, we've done an hour. We've gone an hour. It's easy. 300 people.
Wow.
I guess we'll go for closing thoughts again, Jorn. Anything else you want to touch on before we close up?
I think I'll just do it very short, otherwise it goes for another hour. It's great, and I think we've been. I think our mod has been doing a great job, and also the community is amazing. And me and Jerry was totally very excited to move this and to scale this, and we will continue to airdrop to our community, early backers, and be after services.
Yes. And the biggest news is the app will be ready in 2 days in some time zones, 3 days. Oh, sorry. I'm confused. In roughly 2 to 3 days, and so you'll be able to play the game and download the games through the App Store, through the Test Flight and the Google Play Store. So super exciting. So yeah, now you can really move to earn the real token, and you can swap them to the stable coins and yeah, even the fiat currency.
Yeah, it is also important saying from Monday, so that's actually 24 hours away before we get into technical Monday, but it might be 36 hours for the app. You can actually start earning GST as of Monday. It's pretty amazing. It's a very awesome situation. And are we going to see photos of Jorn and Jerry wearing sweatbands going for a run?
I'm doing it, so I'll do some footage.
I look forward to hearing more about the leaderboards, competitions between platforms and protocols. That'll be super cool. Like move to earn, but fitness, keeping healthy, getting people involved, running together. The monthly marathons do look awesome. So we'll probably lock it down there. We've gone the hour, 305 people for a cap. Amazing night. Thank you for your questions, everybody. How do we want to deal with the prizes, Jorn and Jerry?
I will take screenshot for all the participants that stay late, and then we will release the announcement shortly.
Yeah, give it a 1 or 2 days, please. Don't rush to ask whether you've won a prize. Obviously, we've got me on video talking about people and mentioning names and stuff, but absolutely amazing turnout. It's really, really proud to see over 300 people on stage and, all here to make a better life for ourselves, moving and earning, and potentially earn some crypto.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jorn. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Barndog. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.